Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Thornburg, and I am one of the social studies teachers here at East Lincoln High School. It is so good to talk to you today about registration, what you're going to be taking next year at East Lincoln High School. So let's get started. So today we're going to look at what you're going to be taking your ninth grade year, right? Your freshman year of East Lincoln High School. So one of the things I always do when I start talking to students about their classes, I always ask them, why should you study social studies, right? Why take a history class beyond you're required to? Well, it's a really simple question, right? Why? Because in your math and science classes, they can tell you how you should or how you could make a Tyrannosaurus Rex, how you could clone one. But social studies classes, social studies teachers, we're going to tell you why that's probably a bad idea, right? Why, historically speaking, we don't want to be living in the same place as a T Rex as we go through there. So, anyway, what classes do you have as a ninth grader? And we may even get to talk a little bit about uh, dinosaurs within those classes. In ninth grade, you're going to be required to take what we call world history. World history classes, simply put, are going to study the history of the world from around 1200 CE, so 1200 in the modern era, to the present day. So we're going to talk about the Mongols. We're going to talk about wars in Europe and around the world, and bring it right up to the present day, things that are going on in the world. Now, within that ninth grade class, you can take classes on essentially three different levels, right? So, our first level that you see here on the screen is just our regular standard world history class. Nothing wrong with that. It's a solid class. We're going to do a lot of hands on projects, a lot of fun things are going to come in there. If you're looking to challenge yourself a little bit more, push yourself academically, we have an honors class. And so we do a little bit more work. There's a little bit more rigor into those courseworks that come into play. So we're going to push you a little bit more. We're going to expect a little bit more out of you in those honors levels classes. Then, if you're really ready to push yourself, you believe that you are a strong student in social studies, you're really ready to give it your all and really push yourself, you can take AP World History. And as you see it listed here, it's AP World History Modern. Same class, 1200 to the present day. Talk to you really quickly about what AP means. AP is a designation for advanced placement. And so what happens is if you decide to take the AP World History class, at the end of the year, you're going to take a test. It's kind of like your EOGs. So at the end of the year, you're going to take a test. And if you do well enough on that test, you can actually earn college credit. And it's going to be for free, right? All you have to do is take the class, do the work. And if you do well enough on the test, you listen to what the teacher says, you do what the teacher says, you have the chance to earn college credit, which is really pretty cool. You're going to earn about 3 credit hours for that class. So you can walk out of your freshman year already on your way to being a successful student and, more importantly, being a successful like college student, right? As you go through there. So those are our three levels: regular world history honors, or AP world history, depending on how you want to challenge yourself. Um, if you decide later on that, in your junior, senior year that you want to go back and do AP World History and you didn't do it your freshman year, you can absolutely do that your junior or senior year. We also have an opportunity for you to take additional social studies classes. So maybe a little something different. We call those elective classes. So in our elective classes, this is what we have. We have 3 classes that freshmen can sign up for. We have military history, current events, and law and justice. And honestly, the names tell you exactly what we're going to be doing in those classes. In military history, we are studying the history of military, right? So we're going to look at going as far back as like ancient Greece and Rome and the way they fought, what they wore, their tactics. We're going to talk about trebuchets and catapults and ballistas, all the way through medieval wars with knights and cavalry to the modern era of tanks and big guns and airplanes. Our military history teacher is going to bring in, and a lot of times we'll get in some of our military recruiters who come into our schools. Now, we're not there to recruit. That's not their job. But what their job is to do is to come in and sort of talk to you about what life is like in the military, right? Sort of what the military looks like in the modern 21st century. And honestly, talk to you somewhat about the jobs and skills that you can learn and earn and do in the military. Current events class, current events is exactly what the name says. It's what's going on in the world, right? It's what's happening in the politics. It's what's happening in the news. What's happening in sports as we go through there, right? So current events, sort of what's happening, major topics. What I love about current events is a lot of times those of us who teach a course, we open up to the students. So, like, if there's a topic that you really want to talk about, you let the teacher know. Maybe a couple weeks into that class, they'll find a way to sort of slide that into the course. Finally, we have law and justice. And again, it's exactly what the title says. We study the legal system in the United States. We understand how the judicial process works. We look at what happens if you are arrested. Not that you'll ever be arrested, but what does that process look like, right? What are the right steps? We bring in judges, we bring in lawyers, we have our school resource officer come in and talk to us. So those are three additional classes. So when you go to register for your courses, you're going to have to choose a world history course, right? So you can do world history or world history honors or AP world history. And then you have the option of doing one of those other three. Folks, I hope you have a great day. It was great to get to talk to you through video, and I absolutely cannot wait to see you next year at East Lincoln High School. I hope you all have a good one. If you have any questions about registration, please talk to your teachers and your guidance counselors. Have a good one, folks. Bye bye.